Hey guys, you're in the studio once again with Luke from GuitarIQ.com. In this video, we'll be continuing our look at the latest release of RX4 by iZotope. In the last video, we had a look at the D-Click module for dealing with percussive string noise and the EQ Match module for creating EQ profiles. Here we'll be checking out a few more of the features in RX4 that might come in handy when dealing with our guitar tracks. So let's jump in and take a look. So as I mentioned in the last video, the next thing I'm keen to take a look at is the Dereverb module. Now again, this is available in RX4 Advanced, and while this tool might typically be used to reduce the reverberant sound of a space that something is recorded in, we can actually use it to do exactly the opposite. So I need to come over here and learn the reverb profile of the track that we've been working with. Now, instead of boosting the reduction value over here, I'm actually going to drag it down past 0 to a negative value. And again, it's just a matter of clicking on compare to take a listen to what this is going to sound like. You can hear just how much that's boosting the sound of the space that the guitar was recorded in. You can also hear there's some obvious artifacts in there, and it's also making things really boomy. So let's just adjust this reduction value and also tweak the reverb profile a little bit. Then we can come across and click compare. And again, that renders our settings over to the comparison window over here. So let's compare both of these. If I wanted to enhance this effect without introducing as many of the artifacts that we were hearing before, I could just process this and then actually enhance it with a second pass by relearning the processed track. In this case, I'll just preview it with the enhance existing reverb preset up here. So let's adjust that reduction value a little bit. Now let's take a listen. I really like the idea of being able to enhance the sound of the original space that something was recorded in without having to overly compress things or resort to an artificial reverb sound. Obviously, you're going to get mixed outcomes depending on how and where a track was recorded, but if you spend a bit of time messing around with this, you can definitely come up with some very interesting results. The last thing I quickly want to take a look at is the time and pitch module within RX4. Now, while the ability to adjust the tempo or key of a track isn't necessarily a new concept, the challenge with this type of editing has always been to retain as much of the original quality of the performance as possible. The radius algorithm that iZotope uses here actually does a really good job of this. So let's experiment by shifting this down one semitone and see what this would sound like if the guitar was tuned to E flat. Okay, now just for the sake of comparison, let's move this up one semitone and let's shift this up to 90 beats per minute. So let's now see what that sounds like. This is comparing it against the original track. It's also worth noting that under the Advanced tab over here, we have more settings for fine-tuning how this is going to process the specific audio that we're working with, including formant adjustments which can be shifted independently from the pitch. Obviously, the best case scenario is to always record things using the right key and tempo to start with, but this might not always be possible. Additionally, this type of thing might be especially handy in pre-production. For example, if you're sending a rhythm track to a vocalist and they want to experiment with their range using a few different versions. So while this may not be something you want to rely on, it's definitely a handy feature within RX4. Well, that's a quick look at some of the features in the latest version of RX4 by iZotope. Over the last couple of videos, I've only really been able to scratch the surface of what this software is actually capable of, but hopefully that's been a helpful look at how some of these modules can be useful utilities for various things beyond the traditional uses like cleaning up dialogue or repairing poorly recorded audio. Having recently spent a bit of time with RX4, this is an extremely powerful and useful program. If people aren't familiar with previous versions of RX, there will be a bit of a learning curve to get the most out of this software, and additionally the price point of this product may put it out of reach for a lot of people. But having said that, the standard version is significantly cheaper than the advanced version and does share a lot of the same features. All up, this is a very impressive bundle that really does significantly extend the editing capabilities that you'll find in a standard DAW. So that concludes our look at RX4 by iZotope. Well, that's it for the video. As always, if it has helped you out, then please click on the like button or leave some feedback. Make sure to head over to the website guitariq.com for a whole lot more content over there. While you're at it, be sure to subscribe to the channel. All of the links you need for everything will be in the description, including the other places that you can check the channel out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.